Hey, 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 welcome to the session live. I'm your host. You already know the business. I am Minister Fred II, Frederick Whitlow II. If you want government, that's fine too. And you are tuned into the session, Bible Beats and Bars. Listen, I'm super excited about our guests. Listen, anyone sitting in that seat is a serious situation in America and abroad. Listen, this show is dedicated to all those who are looking at brand, marketing, understanding your purpose from not only what you do, but who you are. So I'm excited about our guests. I say this every Saturday and every time you catch us on travel on a Monday night to make sure that you share this amazing show with at least 7 people. Now, why do I say 7? Because that's like perfection. That's like completion. If you do one for every day, by the time you get to Saturday or you get to Monday when you're coming up, you're going to be good to go. So listen, we're going to get this party started. Let's start, Professor. Let's go ahead and give them the song by Bria Miles, and also featuring, you already know, Heesan Lee, Mahogany Jones, and Prestivia. And listen, I'm just saying, don't turn the dial. This is a serious situation. Plus, she's amazingly beautiful. We'll see you in a minute.
Bria, Prestavia, Mahogany, Keisha.
Who is you gonna respect? Me. I am the one. Pop and watch me flex. Easy with the threats. Oh no, we is not the same. I could never let you change me. Who is you gonna respect? Who could you never check? Who gonna do more to flex? Who was it got protect? Who is you gonna respect? Me. I am the one. Pop and watch me flex. Easy with the threats. Oh no, we is not the same. I could never let you change me. Who is you gonna respect? Who could you never check? Who gonna do more to flex? Who was it got protect? I am the baddest one that you will ever meet. Say it to your face. Oh no, I won't be discreet. I am a freaking legend and I'm making one. Easy. Oh, this way too easy. I am the one. I do not need applause. I do just need my God clearly. I am the same. Solely and anointed. Got appointed. XOXO levitate level. Got DNA.
Before me, then who can stand against me? Or you can plan against me simply, but you and I just hit me. I am not just anybody. You can pick up at me. I am a child of a king. I get plenty. I am so out of your league. I can start a new league like I'm Remy. I deserve more like I'm Demi. Try to destroy me, but please to get caught off my neck. I ain't Jimmy. I ain't too friendly. Violence is semi. God come and get me. You send me. Call me, I'm savage. It's more than a flex. I'm winning. Yeah. Call me, I'm savage. It's more than a flex. I'm winning.
Push don't kick don't hit on spit on this my fight back song. I've been did wrong, but I lived on cause my fight back strong. Push don't kick don't hit on spit on this my fight back song. I've been did wrong, but I lived on cause my fight back strong. Did everything you could to tear me down, still standing. Look at me now, holding my ground. You see the crown, give me 6 feet, don't touch the down. I am a queen, I am a king, I am a living legend warrior now. When in my presence, show nothing but reverence. Remember the currency and the power.
Respecting us now, knowing our worth, seeing our grind. We doing it first. We conquering all that we've been through. We living it up because we know how to work. It's time that we show what we gonna do. Things that are making these people start running to. Better believe this is something new. Fellas are coming through, ready to bump this too. Let's go. Who is you gonna respect? Me. I am the one. Pop and watch me flex. Easy with the threats. Oh no, we is not the same. I could never let you change me. Who is you gonna respect? Who could you never check? Who gonna do more to flex? Who was it got protect? Who is you gonna respect? Me. I am the one. Pop and watch me flex. Easy with the threats. Oh no, we is not the same. I could never let you change me. Who is you gonna respect? Who could you never check? Who gonna do more to flex? Who was it got protect?
Oh my goodness, just cold, bar for none.
Wow. I'm like heavily impressed. That was so dope.
Yo, and it's all for them. They rock a whole set and stuff like that, and we're excited about it. We're trying to get them down for the festival. It's gonna be great.
Okay.
Yo, so that was Bria Miles, Mahogany Jones,
Okay.
Heesan Lee, and then also Prestivia. And they're most from New York on the East Coast.
Okay.
They just bar for none. He's like,
I can
and then they're
tell.
still keeping it righteous. You know what I mean?
I could tell from the style to their clothes,
Yeah.
like for sure.
Yeah.
They're not in the style. They're
Yeah,
not
they
they're not
stay
down there with
fashion
us.
of daddy. So anyway, welcome
Yes.
to the show. We're here in the
Hey, thank
session
you.
live. We just having a conversation. I didn't even introduce you to our special guest, none other
Yes.
in the studio. We've been trying to get this together for a minute,
Yes.
but we got it together, and you are
Finally.
going to be blessed
Oh, you
today.
singing.
So, oh yeah, I get it in a little bit. This is Dr. Cynthia Videau. Hey, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you for having me. I appreciate that.
So listen. First of all, I want to say we're excited about the show, folk, because of what we're going to talk about.
Mhm.
But before we do that, we always do this thing. We want to make sure that all of our viewers and our listeners on the podcast side know that you're human
Yes.
and like you're really cool people.
Uh-huh.
Before we get into all the cool stuff you do.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
but that. So 3 fun facts about you outside what we about to do. Talk about 3 fun facts, just the human side of Dr. Cynthia. All right,
Okay.
number 1.
I love makeup. I love makeup
Listen,
as a
flawless.
pastime. Thank you.
Flawless.
I try. As
No,
a
she's
pastime, it's
doing.
fun.
You pass try. Because
Oh,
I know if I tried, it wouldn't work out. It would
listen.
be tried for sure. And I don't do that in too much. Go ahead.
So makeup is something I just love to do for fun on myself. Don't ask me. Don't book me. I don't want to jack you up on your big day. I can't help you. Um, I love art, like movies. Like movies.
Number 2,
I'm a movie
movies.
buff. Yes.
Are you really?
Yes. Real bad.
Okay, who's one of your favorite actors or in the industry? Let's just go there since I'm a big movie fan too.
Are you?
Yes, big screen,
Uh-huh.
gotta have it every week. It's an
Oh,
addiction. But it's healthy because I don't pass out from it.
okay,
You
good.
know what I mean?
Yeah, we're glad you don't pass out or go to sleep. You know, you can go to sleep in the movies
Oh,
too.
that's messed up. That's messed up for real.
Yeah.
So, one of your favorite actors or
Yes.
movie stars?
I love Nicolas Cage.
Get out of
I
here!
love him.
I just got through watching him. Yo,
I'm
this
jealous.
latest one.
What is it called? What movie
It's
is it?
called
I need to write it down.
Kill Chain.
Kill
Cause
Chain.
that dude be going off hard.
Okay. I had to find it because he stay working.
Oh
Now,
man,
he
be
working.
yeah.
He got a job. He is a paid actor. He got a job. Okay. he gonna be in somebody's movie, Netflix,
Yes,
Tubi,
yeah,
somebody.
somewhere.
He got a
He
job.
stays busy,
Yeah.
and he always have. And it's so funny because no matter what, if it's an A studio movie,
Mhm.
big budget or
Yeah.
mid budget,
Right.
he would turn that thing into big budget. Just
Yes,
as
he
he
will.
has just mad skills. All right, number 3 fun fact about you.
I like being a mom.
What?
Oddly enough, yeah, I like being a mom.
Okay,
Yeah.
wait. That's kind of dope. We've never had anybody say, Professor. We never had anybody say the fun fact is that they love being a mom or a parent.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got to ask this. I know we're gonna
Okay.
go. We're gonna get into other stuff.
Okay.
But why is that so important that you love being a parent?
If you don't love what you do, it comes off in the results.
Wow.
And I would never want for my son to not feel love.
Yeah.
So loving him and loving being a parent have to go hand in hand. I can't really hate. I don't want to ever hate being a parent and then not loving my child. Like that's weird. So I
Wow.
enjoy his presence. I enjoy playing with him. I think he's pretty awesome.
One of the things that I hear when you say that, and we might as well just kind of chime in,
Okay.
is that being a parent is all about being present.
Very much so.
Wow. I think that's powerful, and kudos to you and to all
you.
of the parents,
Yeah.
especially our young ladies that are holding it down with children and just being a mommy figure.
Yeah.
Because it's nothing like having an amazing woman that's a nurturer and still handle their business like
Yeah.
you
Oh,
and
thank you.
others. You know.
Yes. Yes.
So kudos to you and kudos to you. So let's go here.
Okay.
Do you have a favorite? Because we always ask. You have a favorite quote or a scripture? You can whichever you want to go with.
I would have to say if you take care of your mind, it will take care of you.
Okay, wait. The
Mhm.
quote is if you take care of your mind,
Yes.
it will take care of you.
Mhm.
Oh man, that's pretty deep. All
Yeah.
right, you got to explain, share with our listeners, our viewers, why that quote and what does that really, what is that saying to us?
I say that because I used to deal with anxiety really bad, to the point where I feel like it was like debilitating.
Wow,
And
wow,
when I started to learn that anxiety really comes from fearing the future and
wow.
fearing what you can't control,
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
started to realize I can't like dwell on what it's out of my hands. And
Okay.
so I started to have more control over what I choose to think about and give
Wow.
my energy to. So if I'm not focused on what I can't control and I focus on what I can, that's where peace is what and I
Wow.
can control and letting the rest go to God, let it go. And that's helping to take care of me and my mind eventually started to become trained to focus on positive, better things that helps take care of me.
Wow. I want to go to another one, but before I do that, you got my wheels turning.
Okay.
For you, what was the turning point when you said, "Okay, no longer will I fear, and I will not accept these type of emotions or feelings, so that I can choose something that's healthy, good energy, vibe." Wow.
I think there's several moments. I think
Okay.
that going through divorce was probably one of the most pivotal moments for me
Wow.
because when I went through that, it's traumatic, right? You go through
Right.
something that's super traumatic.
Right.
And for me, my healing journey looked like, what do I need to do? Who do I need to be? Who have I become?
Wow.
And what parts of me were there as a means of protecting myself,
Yeah.
right? What
Yeah.
do I
Yeah.
need to let go of so that the real me, the
Wow.
before hurt me, the
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
trauma me, the
Come on.
before being conditioned me ever showed up
Wow.
in this world as a representative? How can I get back to her? I want to meet her. And so I think being intentional about doing my homework on myself and saying,
Wow.
let's do an assessment of what you really believe. I
Wow.
had to challenge my own belief systems, whether they were given to me,
Okay.
whether I learned them along the way, or whether they were serving me at that time.
And for your good or
And
not,
and for
really.
my good. So the more I started to question who I
Wow.
actually was, the closer I got to who I am today.
You know, I think this is a good segue, folks.
Mhm.
Let's talk about the backstory of Dr. Cynthia or young Cynthia before the
Okay.
doctor and all the great things,
Mhm.
accolades that
Thank you.
like you got a lot of accolades. But who is that young lady, that little girl? Just a brief thanks, because I want to go to a video, and then
Okay.
we're gonna move on from that. But I think
Mhm.
just from what you're sharing, um, like you really are one of those examples, one of
Mhm.
those um, them lights, because we're going to talk about that turning in that light and darkness, and
Yes.
how that impacts what you do now professionally. But
Yes.
the backstory: who are you? Where you from? What does that look like? And and what makes you Cynthia?
Ooh, it's a lot because 'cause I'm a
Right,
little bit
just
of
short.
fun, a little bit but no,
A lot of
I'm
it of
just a
fun, a lot of it of professionalism.
yeah, a little bit of everything. I just do everything in the bowl,
For
sugar,
sure.
spice, everything nice.
We'll spit you
But
out.
I'm just like a young girl from Birmingham
Okay.
who just kinda grew up in a not so favorable environment
Yeah.
and traumatic. A lot of loss I experienced growing up kinda molded me into who I am, made me very anxious, and I've just, I'm still I'm not shy. I'm more of an introvert, though people do
Right.
not believe that. They just don't
For
believe it.
real, like
I
like
am.
if you ever experienced, like, we'll talk about your presentation recently.
Oh, man.
When I heard her presentation, like 12, 15 minutes max,
Mhm.
captivating the audience, and part of that was your story,
Yes, it was, yeah.
which is why you're sitting in that seat. But trauma, anxiousness, and
Yes.
still pressing as a young girl?
As a young girl, I wanted to be an actress, okay? I had movie star dreams, y'all, movie star. So if you ever see me in a movie, just know it was always there. I had really big dreams to be I was already in acting. I was
Okay.
already in theater. I had like a 10-year run in acting. So
Wow,
I
wow.
wanted it so bad and I loved it. So I was always an artist, creative type of
Okay.
little girl. Very tenacious. I've always had my own like thought process. Like I'm gonna
Right,
be me. I wasn't gonna pick on you, but you couldn't pick on me either, you
right,
know.
right.
I don't know. I was kind of a book nerd and just like a little theater nerd, but I was strong,
Right.
very strong. I even as a little girl, I had a very cool prayer life. Always had a relationship with God. I just kinda like knew and understood my role. Like I'm gonna be walking with God forever, no matter what I try to
Right,
do.
right.
So I've always kind of just been the way I am. Just now I'm an older version of that.
So I think that's powerful. I want to go to this song by um, Reese Lachey. She has a song called "I Believe,"
Okay.
and when I'm listening to you, and I know
Mhm.
our viewers are watching, and they're going, "Wow, you have a strong belief system." When we come back, we're going to talk about that belief,
Okay.
where it has come from,
All right.
and then let's talk a little about the continuation of your journey. So here it
Okay.
is. You already know Reese Lachey. She's got a song called "Believe." You're listening to the session live with Dr. Cynthia V in the building. We'll be right back. Professor, let's put them on.
I was contemplating quitting. I was glad I never did it. I'ma run this race forever, even if I never finish. I ain't going out and make can't do this just to say I did it. Silly of to think of me, I'm blessed what I'm gonna give 'em. And I don't know how they be cutting up on me, but I stay focused, keep my bread up on me. They do looking, but I know he cover me. So run up on me every time they come and leave. Where was you at when I was down bad? Anxiety was blowing me just like a brown bag. Ain't no liquor in my system, I can't drown that. And I didn't wanna stay over cause I found back. Yo, move back. I don't wanna talk about it, I can't backtrack. My dog just told me not to go cause it's a rat. Lay it down and give it to him, it's a clap back. Cap. We was tight, but I adjusted like a snapback. I was down to turn the cheek, but had to snap back. Dollar sign before my name just like the cash out. And I don't know how they be coming up on me, but I stay focused, keep my bread up on my E. They just lurking, but I know he cover me. So run up on me every time they come and leave. I don't know how they be coming up on me, but I stay focused, keep my bread up on my E. They just lurking, but I know he cover me. So run up on me every time they come and leave. When I tell you this special, this for whoever. I don't wanna die in vain, cause I'm gonna wanna live forever. I'ma always shoot my shot, cause I know it's A forever. So if I fail that test, then I'll go back again. Since you can't rain on my parade, cause I know God control the weather. I ain't gotta be afraid, cause I'm down to go to heaven. You ain't gotta throw them shade, but somebody bound to catch it. I'm just trying to mind my business, ain't got time to miss a blessing. They be trying to give me all my stuff, how I ever let them. Man, I'm tired of all you goofies, I'm like, how I get to heaven? No, it's peaceful over there with burdens lighter than a feather. And I'm not suicidal, I just got a lot of questions. And I don't know how they be coming up on me, but I stay focused, keep my bread up on my E. They just lurking, but I know he cover me. So run up on me every time they come and leave. I don't know how they be coming up on me, but I stay focused, keep my bread up on my E. They just lurking, but I know he cover me. So run up on me every time they come and leave.
Shout out to my man, Professor A. Bring us back, baby. The session live. You already know the business in the building. None other than the good Dr. Cynthia.
Hey, that was a good song.
Yeah.
I could bump that in my car. Like I could get to where I got to go with that one. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'm excited because, again, you're tuned into the session live. Our special guest, Dr. Cynthia Videau. She's amazing. We got a chance to, so if you missed the first part of this, you can always catch it on the replay. But let's talk about your belief and passion.
Okay.
So going through this life as a young girl, trying to figure this thing out and
Mhm.
just still sticking with it, that's belief.
Yes.
So what are you passionate about now that you're this new version of the little girl from Birmingham?
Ooh, I don't think there's even just one passion.
That's fine.
By the way, I cheat on my passions. I got multiple passions. I just because I'm passionate about makeup, right? Just like I'm passionate about being a parent, but I'm very passionate about having a successful business. And honestly, originally the runaway was to just not be living in what I experienced growing up. That was the
Gotcha.
initial
Gotcha.
driver. And I think most people, if they start off in a situation that's not healthy for them, they just want to make it out. And I
Yes.
think that was initially what I was just trying to do, and I was passionate about not going back, but now I'm not worried about going back. I'm just passionate about the future.
So we got to talk about that. You
Okay.
said running from
Mhm.
when you didn't have the
Mhm.
lack.
Yes.
Why was that such a burning
Mhm.
drive?
Ooh, because it's traumatic. If you've ever experienced something like a car wreck, then you might be looking over your shoulder every time a car changes lanes,
Right.
or if
Correct.
somebody slams on their brakes, now you're a little more anxious. the anxiousness.
Right.
It can show up in other ways.
Yeah.
And so when I looked at how things were going in my young adult life, I'm talking about 20s, y'all. I'm not in my 20s anymore. But in my 20s and just that's not too far from your teens, to be
Correct.
honest.
It
Like
really
it's
isn't.
it's not that long ago when you're in your young 20s. And so I felt like if I could just make it, I just didn't want to lose. And there is a difference between focusing on lack
Come on.
and focusing on abundance and focusing on not losing versus focusing on winning. Those are two different
So let's go
things.
there. Let's go there real
Yes.
quick because I think
Mhm.
this is going to build and again, it's very important to understand that.
Yes.
So let's talk about the concept of lack
Mhm.
versus losing.
Mhm. So when you're focused on lack and you're focused on losing, you're focused on what you don't have.
Come on.
You're
Correct.
always you're looking at what's missing all the time, and it's not going to suddenly appear because you're only focused on it not being there.
Correct.
I have found when I focused on being grateful for what I have, and
Mm.
I just start thanking God in advance. You know what? I'm so grateful for what I have and for what's coming.
Wow.
And I
Wow.
call it
Wow.
out by name. So I'm not sitting around dwelling on the fact that it isn't here yet. I'm preparing for the fact that it's coming.
That is coming.
And
Correct.
that to me, that's a more positive way to live mentally. It's basically saying I have expectation
Come on.
for good things to happen to me instead of having this expectation that the boogeyman is coming over your shoulder to take it
Right.
away from you, as opposed to God coming in to bless you like it's there for you. It's already, as a matter of fact, you already have it. It's just on the way. It's just being confident that it is on the way. So I had to come out of the place of feeling like I'm looking over my shoulder, waiting
Yeah.
for the ball to drop instead of looking forward to the fact that I already have it. Like it's in my hand. It's okay. I don't have to worry about the past.
That's it.
I'm only looking forward to my future, which is already pre-written.
And the other thing I love that is that when you look forward,
Mhm.
you can't do both.
No, you can't.
Like
Mm-mm.
practically, if I'm looking forward, I'm looking
Yes.
right now at you.
Mhm.
I have to do all of this,
All of
or
that.
I got to do this,
Yep.
which means I take my focus on my ultimate goal, which
Yes.
is the win or the accomplishment or the
Yes.
expectation, like you said,
Yes.
or what I desire to become. And
Mhm.
it takes away from the preparation that it
Yeah.
requires to receive it.
It does take away from that. It gets you distracted. It's just like if you're driving a car, you're not gonna drive in reverse. You can't go forward and be, you know what I'm saying?
Put it in
Yeah,
the R instead of the
yeah.
D.
You can't, and I know, but sometimes when we haven't dealt with the pain behind something, it can continue to come up. That's why when I mentioned doing like an assessment of myself, I said, what do I need to change
Right,
to
right,
not relive
right,
what I've
right,
experienced? What belief system or pattern that I already have that led me down these ways, what can I do differently? And so being able to question while we're looking behind
right.
instead of looking ahead is going to be key for that as well.
So let's dig a little deeper.
Okay.
Again, you are tuned into the session live with Dr. Cynthia.
Yeah.
I am so excited about this. I know
Mhm.
we have listened for. We've been trying to plan this for a minute. She's
Mhm.
been all over the place speaking. She's an author.
Mhm.
She's an owner and operator. Um, but so as we dig deeper in this story,
Mhm.
this journey, you now find your passion. You
Yeah.
now understand why. So let's talk about the movement.
Ooh, okay.
So you decide I don't want lack anymore.
Mhm.
I want positive energy. I'm going to
Yeah.
look forward to my press toward my goal, that high
Right.
market calling. You
Right.
know that God is real. You've had a relationship.
Mhm.
Then what happens?
It didn't happen overnight. Oh,
There it is. That's it
oh,
right
sorry.
there.
I
And
don't
it
have
never
this
does.
like amazing story to tell you that it happened overnight. No, it did not.
Right.
It took um trial and error. And honestly, it's always going to be trial and error.
Right.
There is no, until you get to the other side, there's no perfection. So for me, I was introduced to someone who ended up becoming my business mentor. She
Wow.
was doing business development and she just needed somebody to create websites. And I was like, I don't do no websites. How you asking me to do a website? But apparently I had a gift or a knack for it. And I went and started creating websites, $300, $400 websites. Just trying to, take care of my bills really because I was
Yeah.
working,
Yeah.
but it was helpful. And so those first 3 years, I still worked. I still had a job. I still was trying, and it wasn't like I had this flood of clientele. Like this was years ago. We're talking about almost 10 years ago. So
Wow.
it wasn't
Wow.
like that. And it took some time. And honestly, I didn't stick with full-time entrepreneurship. I started doing that in 2020. I was doing dual between a job and working the business. And I stopped the business sometimes. Sometimes I didn't have the faith or the resources and I was tired. And eventually life set in. So honestly, it took a lot of practice
Mm,
and getting better at my
I love
skills,
that practice.
studying what other people were doing in the industry, and making sure what I'm offering is even comparable. And I had to build my confidence. Now, mind you, let me give you this nugget. I was not thinking abundance while I was building. I was still thinking I just want to get out of what I'm in. So I got
Right.
to figure out every single thing to make that happen. Wanting to have a mindset of healed mindset and abundance came many, many years later.
Wow.
It took a while to deal with mentally how I approached things, how I approached life. That was a process, and it's always gonna be a process when you're focused on the future. That don't mean your past won't try to come back and revisit like, "Hey, girl, we just go by a different name. I don't know you." You know?
Come on,
"I
come
don't
on,
know
come
you."
on, come on,
But
come
it
on.
it it was a process of trial and error. Like, I got one client this week, but not the next week, but I still got my job. Learning how to make contracts, learning how to create a SOW, learning how to create a LLC, learning how to have invoices. It's simple things that I had to still learn
Right,
in
right.
order to even be able to do the things I do now. So those building blocks help set the precedence for everything I do today. That's you still got to create an invoice.
Yep,
You still got to do SOP. You know, you
yep.
still have to have all these different things in order to make a business work, at least for my business to work. So
Wow.
honestly, it took a lot of struggle, took a lot of stop and start. It
Yeah.
took a lot of I'm gonna take a break and come back to this in order for me to finally build up enough confidence to say I gotta go all in or no or not at all.
Sounds like one of the big things that we hear and I'm hearing is that it's about perseverance. Now, who are
Yes.
some of those influences for you,
Mm.
whether it's community? You said definitely from the business, it was the
Mhm.
young lady who gave you your start in terms
Mhm.
of asking
Yes.
you, well, actually booking you to do smaller
Mm.
contracts
Right.
at the time. But what about maybe in the community or family?
I would say, my godmother, who stepped in, Valerie. I met
Wow.
her when I was 19, and at that time, I didn't have like you know how some people have this ooey gooey lovey relationship for their mom and stuff, but because of the relationship we had growing up, a part of that had I had lost that.
Right.
I didn't have that, and
Gotcha.
so when I joined a church, this is way back years ago when I was in Florence. I ended up joining the church and I literally heard clear as day, like, "You need to talk to her." And I was like, "I wanna talk to her." Like, you know how
Like,
sometimes you
I
wanna
don't
go
even
back
know
and
her.
forth with the
What?
Lord,
What?
but I was like, "What am I talk to her for?" Like, I was like, "Okay, Imma go over there." I said, "Hey, you know, the Lord told me to talk to you." She was like, "Okay." And I just talked to her, but she took me in as her own daughter. She
Wow.
already had 3 kids. She didn't need
Wow.
no other kid, but she took me under her wing, and her love helped to heal
Mm.
me, and she showed me how to pray. She showed me how to be a woman of God. She showed me how to
Wow.
we cleaned
Wow.
together in ministry. Like, I became active in ministry because of her, but her love helped to take care of the little girl in me that was trying to figure it out, and she
Wow.
saw me. Like, she saw my
You saw
hurt,
who you were.
she saw my disappointment, but she saw my potential.
Wow.
She knew that I wanted more out of life, and I promise you till this day, even though she's no longer here, like, she knew I was gonna get here, like, she knew I was
Wow.
gonna make it. She never ever doubted that I would eventually get to where I had to go, and I'm so grateful that she took the time to, like, "adopt me," quote,
Yeah.
unquote,
Yeah.
and even to this day, I'm close to my god siblings, so I appreciate that for doing
And I
that.
think that's powerful. So did
Mhm,
that positively affect the relationship now with your
mhm.
biological mom?
It did. I think that it gave me the strength to open up, to have
Wow.
conversations that I just couldn't have.
At that time, huh?
Yeah, I just couldn't have them. And my mom has done, you know, work on her own stuff as well, but I truly believe that even with her having done some work, if I had not had
Mm,
a that experience, I just don't know that I would have even been able to take value
right.
in the relationship rebuilding.
We're gonna go, Professor. Go ahead and cue up "Childlike CC" featuring Kid Lee. They
Okay.
have a song I love, and it's "I Don't Walk by Sight."
Oh, okay.
And it's really like what she's been talking about. It's
Yeah.
like, you know, God tells you to go talk to somebody you don't know from Adam. You do.
Right.
That's faith.
Yes.
You do that, then you develop this great relationship,
Mm-hmm.
developing faith.
Yes.
Then you're able to go in faith and get that connection back with your biological. And in faith, you are now an entrepreneur,
Yes.
even though you were battling anxiety. So let's
Yeah.
check out this video. Yo, all in popping, Dr. Cynthia in the building.
Hey.
We about to hear this boom bap. The lady's taking over
I'm
today.
excited about this one.
You
Yes.
excited all the time.
Yes,
I'm
that's
like,
great.
bam. Let's go.
Huh? How you gonna scare me? I don't even walk by sight. That's what they can't see. Filled with the spirit, I'm high off life. I don't get antsy. They was checking the fruit, now they seen it's ripe. Now they understand me. They hear the beats, thinking I'm a trap rap about to get saved and ain't I got good. Plus I'm throwing up phone them and see what's up. Enemy dog, he had me. Keyword dog, my bad, that's tragic. Now with the King of Kings, turn my beauty to ashes. My mess round into a pageant. Holy Spirit, yeah, he dwelling me gladly. I will not flip like a patty. Really getting savvy, left the savage like no need to be average. I'm trying to catch souls, not bodies. Said it in my last song, please don't get it wrong. They think we scary, nah. Won't get me lacking, you know I keep on my own. We do not fear at all. Call on the name of Jesus, it ain't fair at all.
And we ain't never fear no man, nobody, anybody, cause the plan God says really perfect, worth it, more than the surface. I see it, I'm murky, I'm looking like what's on the serpent, the purpose. Tell it back, we don't shiver or shake it, you watching us back. That I got the devil looking like a sack. I've been pushing this mission, now listen, he mad at me, sad to see. I felt that agony, got that girl from it like where she gets actually chosen. Fearfully, wonderfully made it, she knows it. Hold it, mold it. God's daughter, he been filling me up like he bottled water. And his paper is on me, I'm getting stronger. Blood of Jesus all on her and all across. And now I'm all like, hey.
I serve a big G.O.D., I ain't lacking in favor. Sis say we covered in blood, ain't lacking flavor. Greater is he who is in me than he in the world. I am not backing from nothing, I stand on 10 toes like a ballerina. They was talking the past, I got amnesia. Get under their skin like lymphedema, okay. Really was ready before they said go. God gave me the nod even when they said no. So I still kept stepping like someone's sorority. Wonder why I talk with authority. Funny I passed, the folks in the back who was saying I lacked what it took to be great. They ain't know I had Christ, I'm straight. Thought it was luck, it was fake. I was praying to God, what you expect? It's cause and effect. I'm leading the race, he ain't let me right. I can't lie, I did that for a sec. I'm bigger than better than ever. Bearing the fruit, they feeling the blood, that's pressure. I put the king over leisure and pleasure. Now I'm giving extra. Don't scare me, I don't even walk by sight. That's what they can't see. Filled with the spirit, I'm high off life. I don't get antsy. They was checking the fruit, now they seeing it's ripe. Now they understand me. They hear the beats, thinking I'm a trap rap about to get saved and ain't I got good. Plus I'm throwing up phone them and see what's up. Enemy dog, he had me. Keyword dog, my bad, that's tragic. Now with the King of Kings, turn my beauty to ashes. My mess round into a pageant. Holy Spirit, yeah, he dwelling me gladly.
No More Dirty TV show, hosted by Minister Fred 2, airing the cleanest and dopest music videos in the industry every Wednesday and Friday at 7:30 p.m. No More Dirty time on the No More Dirty YouTube channel. We got clean, positive Christian hip hop and urban music for your viewing and listening pleasure. We also have music video exclusives, interviews, ciphers, life lessons, and more. Make sure to follow us at Minister Fred 2, at No More Dirty Inc., and at No More Dirty Radio Show. For more information, email us at info@nomoredirty.org or call 256-698-9749. The No More Dirty TV Show. Connect with us. Tune in.
Indeed.
Hey, that was good. Yes,
Yeah.
not by sight. Powerful. Powerful.
I love it. And welcome back to the session live with Dr. Cynthia V in the building. Listen, you got to tell them about your last name. I love his Frenchy.
Yeah, I mean it's Videau, it's inherited, from my wonderful marriage. But it's inherited. It's like Creole French like that. And I mean, I'm not necessarily Creole French, but he was, he is. So it's pretty cool. I mean, I cook the food when I want to cook the New Orleans food, but it's
There it
pretty cool.
is. I lived in New Orleans for quite a while prior
Okay.
to Hurricane Katrina.
Okay,
And
before
man,
05.
oh my
Okay.
goodness, occasion. Oh
Uh-huh.
my gosh. I mean, listen, I'm vegetarian, and that was like, I'm
Vegetarian friend.
vegetarian, yo, for real. And they had vegetarian sausage, and they
Yeah.
made gumbo. I mean, listen, I had to work out.
I'm
I'm
shocked.
just gonna say, yo, for real, for real.
You don't eat shrimp?
No,
The
no, none of
fish?
that. No, I do now. When I used to travel, I do pescatarian, so I would only do like
Yeah.
salmon clean,
Okay.
red snapper, some of those, But
Okay.
I'm vegetarian, man.
I
I'm,
didn't
I'm
know
plant
that.
based. You know what I
I mean, I
mean?
love plant-based, but I didn't know that. I'm like, you didn't gave up the shrimp
Oh yeah, yeah,
for a
yeah, yeah.
broccoli, but I
And then- hey, listen, it
I
works. It
understand.
works. It works, yo. You know what I'm saying? Listen, y'all, she bugging. She bugging. All right, so listen, while you bugging, I'm gonna tell you, we got Friday night. Let's do it, Professor. She bugging, yo. Yo, you funny.
That is
For
funny.
broccoli. Yes, for broccoli. Grilled.
I love
No,
broccoli.
but barbecue grilled cauliflower.
Oh,
Oh
I
my
know
God.
it's fire. It's pretty
Ooh,
good. I
come
mean, I
on.
rock with it, but I'm gonna eat
Yeah.
a shrimp or two.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you have that. So anyway, listen, every Friday evening, you get come on, Professor, let's do this. We get the No More Dirty TV show. That's the boom
Okay.
bap. You just heard the
It it
video.
it.
Yo, straight up, the best and clean, inspirational. I mean, we're talking about national artists, we're talking about international, independent artists, abroad and in the States. So listen,
Okay.
you can go to our website, nmdinc.org or nomoredirty.org, and you can submit your music and stuff. So definitely do that because our goal is to make sure that people hear what you got to say
Yeah.
and something uplifting. Your whole family can kick it. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yes.
Most shows, whole family can't kick it and sit down and
Unfortunately.
watch it something and enjoy it. Then
Yeah.
on Saturdays we do this. It's the session Bible beats and bar. That's my dude, Professor X. He's always
Hey, thank you,
behind the
Professor.
scenes. That's my homie for real, for life. And we're on at 2 o'clock on Saturdays, and it's transformative talk.
Mhm.
Like this is what we're doing with this beautiful young lady. Listen, her conversation, her story, what she's doing, it is transforming communities as well as individuals. So we do it on Saturdays, 2 o'clock, and that's Central Standard Time. And then if you're on travel, because we do, that's really kind of how this thing really began to evolve. People
Yeah.
were like, professional government, contractors.
Mhm.
We're like, hey, Fred, listen, I want to check out the show, but I
Yeah.
can't. So now we are, we also broadcast on Monday nights at 7:30
Okay.
p.m. and we're also on LinkedIn. So
Okay.
for those that
Good.
are, all the professionals, we're all on LinkedIn,
Yes.
the YouTube channel, we got Patreon, so you have
Okay.
options to get it. And then on Sunday, No More Dirty Radio Show. Shout out
Hey.
to Ed Gaines. That's a pioneer in the game in this
All
neighborhood.
right.
5 p.m. on G93 Radio. They have an app, live 365. If you just don't know where it is, and then check them out. We're on at 5 o'clock. Then we up locally. You already know we up 103.1. They have an app. We're on 6 o'clock on them with We Up, and then on Mondays we global. Shout out to Ann C. She got
Hey.
us in countries as well.
Okay.
And we're on Mondays, 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. our time. So you got a lot of
Awesome.
content,
That
It's
is
crazy.
awesome. There's like so many ways to stay connected. There is
It
no
is.
excuses. None.
Nah. And then, of course, you can go to the website and check out all that. You can give, you can become involved and
Yeah.
invest and just do cool stuff.
Yeah.
And we got the Camp Smart, we got the Greatness Project, whole bunch of stuff. So go to the website, check it out. All right, we're back with our special guest. You already know the good Dr. Cynthia. So listen, you're a mommy, you're an
Mhm.
entrepreneur. What's that like?
Busy.
Uh,
Busy.
How
It
do you
is.
balance that?
Mm,
Must be good, God.
I don't know if I would say that I found balance. I
Okay.
think that I try daily.
Okay.
So, I mean, I start my mornings at like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Gotcha.
I get up, meditate, pray, get my life together, get him up, cook him breakfast, get him ready to go, take him to school, come back home, check my emails, and start my work day, then stop, pick him up, and then do homework, and then get him ready, then talk and
Yeah.
play. And
That's cool.
it's a cool thing, but it's like it's quite a bit. So I think there are some days where I may have worked too much. I'm like, I'm gonna sit down somewhere. And then some days I'm like, okay, I'm good. So I think it honestly takes like finding balance, but I don't think I ever will. I just think that I'm being intentional
Right.
as I can about giving him my attention that in those moments the best I absolutely can. So
And I
that's
think,
my
but what I've learned, and I
Mhm.
work with kids I don't have any of my own, but I say I do because my phone is jumping, and between housing and between touring and music, and
Yes.
it's just always something. And what I've come to find out, and I think you have mastered it as a parent. Most parents have. I know that sounds weird, but the fact that you're able to be present and your child knows that you love him.
Mhm.
So no matter whether you kicking it with him and you doing some work on the laptop, but you're present. Listen, folks, you gotta be present.
Gotta be
So whether
present.
you're a mommy entrepreneur or
Mhm.
a daddy entrepreneur,
Yep.
or whether you are doing dual roles and you have other responsibilities with other
Right.
mother father figure or just a
Yes,
mentor, these things make a world of a difference
they do.
because you got a great kid
Thank
and you're
you.
doing all these things still.
Thank you.
So that's amazing. So with that being said, let's talk about your journey now from
Okay.
mommy entrepreneurship to now you have now a legitimate LLC doing it big. Let's talk about share about your business,
Okay.
and then let's get in. 'Cause that's
So,
cool.
thank you. I own C Beyond Marketing
Wait
Resource
a minute, you
Center.
talking too slow. She moved too
Owned
fast.
I'm too fast.
It's
It's C Beyond
C, the
Marketing,
letter C,
letter C,
beyond.
Beyond Marketing Resource Center.
Woo! Listen, y'all got to check it out. Hey, Professor, put that up real quick while she's sharing. Let's talk
Okay.
about it.
So we specialize in web design, brand strategy, and ADA compliance, and
Wow.
love websites. Love making sure people's brands look beautiful. We do full comprehensive brand strategies. So a
Brand
lot of
strategy.
people, a lot of companies kind of struggle with how to differentiate themselves and then to market themselves
Yeah.
because there's a lot of people doing similar things. And so
Correct.
it becomes a little bit hard for companies to try to pivot
Yeah.
or to say, hey, here's what our leverage is going to be. Here's what our message is. Here's what our vision or our values are, our core
Right.
values. Here's what our mission statement is going to be for
Yeah.
what it is that we do. And so we create full comprehensive strategies for that, and then we specialize in ADA compliance, which is just making sure that your website is accessible to all users. And that's
Wow.
very, very important. Our government has some different guidelines that we have to go by in order to make sure that it is compliant. So we specialize in just make sure that's good to go for entrepreneurs.
What I really like about it, you have been tagged the website Whisper. Where did
Yes.
that come from?
So before I trademarked it, I was creating websites for companies and for individuals who had been hurt. They had been disappointed and they
Wow.
didn't have the best experience. And so I don't know if you ever remember that show like called The Cat Whisperer. You probably don't remember the cat. It was on one of them little cable networks.
Right.
And so people were having problems with their cat and they were like, just bring him in because the cat's scratching us, trying to kill us. And so he would come in and I don't know how he would retrain the cat, but he was a whisperer. And
Wow.
that his role was to get the cat to behave and to calm down
Right.
and to work well with the family. They loved the cat. The cat was just messed up.
Right.
And so in the same sense, when people would come to me for a website, they were just like, I need something I can be proud of, but I'm a little bit disappointed. And so I just started calling myself the website whisperer because in the end they were okay. In the end they were
Wow.
healed. In the end the product worked well for their business, for their life, and for where they were going. And so around 2020, I was like, I'm a website whisperer. And so I went and took that to my attorney and
Yeah.
I got my trademark earlier this year for the website whisperer.
Congratulations on
Thank
that.
you.
And what I'm gonna tell you, folks, like it's one thing to know and be proud of what you have is in terms of product and service,
Mhm.
but it's another thing to make sure your product or your service is in compliance.
Mhm. Yes.
ADA, meaning it needs to be able to fit and be well rounded,
Yeah, accessible. Mhm.
accessible,
Yeah.
diversity,
Yeah.
inclusive,
Yeah.
and still have an individual brand that's like, oh, that's his brand or her brand,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Sure.
that's what she does. And I'm
Sure.
listen, you guys got to take a look at this, man, because I mean, it just blew me away
Thank you.
because you're helping people
Mhm.
capture their story in a way that someone will do business with them.
It's true, like, your brand story is what is gonna make you unique.
Yeah.
When I talk about a brand story, it can be a mixture of some of your past, a mixture of who you are if you're doing a personal brand, It may be the company story if it's a company brand, but
Right.
like you don't have to completely eradicate. I actually had a conversation with a client this week. I built out a strategy for her. And when we were going through the process of building out the strategy, I asked this series of questions. It's
Right.
kind of like an interview. People get coffee and tea because it's gonna take a little bit of time.
And now we're on question 3.
Right, and she was already crying on question 3, and I was like, "It's gonna be okay." But I told her, "You do not have to suppress what you've experienced because you can leverage that in how you're building out your program.
Wow.
Why do you hide these things? These things are why you're an entrepreneur today." And she was like, "Okay." Like, it's very freeing to be able to utilize how. That's your why. Like, you
Right.
need to be able to express why you do what you do.
Wow.
And that's your story. So your brand story plays a big role in people being able to relate to you. And they relate to what you do? Can they relate to your company? Does your company solve relatable problems?
And the other thing, we're gonna go to this video. Professor, go ahead and cue this up. One day, she has a song called "Walk in the Light,"
Okay.
and what you do, and even your life, just what you've shared. If you're helping people move from dark spaces,
Mhm.
places where they're caught up in the lack mode, is understanding that it should be a catalyst
Yes.
to move into the light or move into your professional or personal brand.
Right.
And you've done that personally and now professionally. So
Mhm.
we want to dedicate this song to you. It's One
Aw,
Day
thank
out of
you.
Reach Record, first woman that was signed to
Okay.
Christian hip hop, period, in
Wow.
the industry. What since well, in this new generation of hip
Okay.
hop artists, because Dice Gamble was the first in holy hip hop, but now
Okay.
they call it CHH. But here it is, first one to Reach Records, One Day. This is all about walking into the light. We'll be right back with Cynthia, the good doctor, Cynthia V.
May His goodness go before you, all around you. Let Him guide you in your coming, let you go. He is for you, yeah. He is for you, yeah.
Better life, better dreams. Lately, you my everything. All up in my mind, I ain't talking about amphetamines. Most high, lift them up like a legacy. Devil trying to infiltrate the mind with the lesser thing. I became a better me when I gave up the scene. Hold up, better me came when I gave it all to him. Child of God, you know my Lord cannot be stopped. Defeating the odds, you know I'll never fail.
May His goodness go before you, all around you. Let Him guide you in your coming, let you go. He is for you, yeah. He is for you, yeah. In the light, keep up the pace. I be the one with all that grace. Holy Ghost glow, we serve them face. Look in the mirror like when I'm blessed. Just like them street lights up in the late night, I choose to shine the path He set for me. He stayed by my side, helped me to see life. I can't deny it. Side I came alive. So even when it all fades, I'ma follow your way. Give Him all of my days, yeah. I pray you dwell in His presence, cause nothing really better. Know if you built on the rock, you last through any weather. No summer plot on my fall, I caught him by surprise. You know your girl is a winner, I spring into the light. Walk in the light, keep up the pace. I be the one with all that grace. Holy Ghost glow, God. Look in the mirror like yeah. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. May His goodness go before you, all around you. Let Him guide you in your coming, let you go. He is for you, yeah. He is for you, yeah.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Hey.
Listen, what did you say? She said, what did you say?
I just want her coat. She was dope. I'm like, but her outfit was fire. Like, did she do something? Her outfit was nice. I just want the outfit too. The song and the
I'll get
outfit.
you contacted with Reach Records.
Okay.
You can
Y'all heard him. You heard him right. If y'all don't see me with that outfit, that means that Minister Fred was telling the truth and he did not reach out and let her know.
Well, I'm gonna connect the dots in some areas.
Okay.
Let you work that because the
I think I
outfit's
can
out my
negotiate a deal,
league.
and I'm ask.
Because that's what you do. So listen, welcome back to this the session live. Dr. Cynthia V in the building. So we got to talk. Listen, one of the things she's very modest, and I wanted to do this on the back end is the accolades. Listen, ABC top 1%.
Yeah.
Let's talk about. You got to share that because I think you talked about coming out of the darkness into the light, not being ashamed.
Yes.
And celebrating your successes in a way that you grow and other people are encouraged. So why don't you encourage them with your successful journey? I think that's important. Seriously.
It honestly, be patient with yourself. Please don't let anybody discourage you. All the accolades, the nominations for like Entrepreneur of the Year or Creator Award, magazines that I've been on the covers of, billboards. If you're in NYC, New York Times Square, anytime in the last 4 or 5 years, you have seen the website Whisperer work on multiple billboards.
Yeah.
All of that came by way of work and relationship. People believing in me. You've got to put yourself out there enough for other people to verify and vouch for you. That's where reviews come in and being very important because it's not enough just for you to say it, but when you start to make a difference in someone else's life, that's where they will start to submit your name for things and sing your praises and say, hey, I know about a person who does great work and that just happens to be XYZ. So really a lot of those, the accolades, I'm grateful for them, but I promise majority of that came from relationship and putting myself out there and people being able to validate the work. So you've got to quit trying to be a hidden secret. It's not helping you.
And one of the things I was really one of the proud moments for me, and I had just met you, was that you're in the top 1%. Forbes magazine.
Well, I have relationship with Forbes. I can't say I'm in Forbes magazine, but I have relationship within the Forbes network. I was inducted into the Forbes community a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I had the shirt on earlier today. I didn't rock it because I was, dressed up, whatever. But I'm not necessarily in Forbes magazine. And in the world's top 1%, I work with those companies and those entrepreneurs who have reached a certain, and I've worked with a lot of people, but the world's top 1% I have found tend to be under attack or they tend to have a lot of risk that they carry. And in the fact that my company specializes in ADA compliance and just making sure your website is accessible, that's another area of risk that the top 1%, anybody really could, but the top 1% tends to be under. If you got money, they come for you.
Right.
So I know that
those compliance areas.
Yeah, they will in any way they can. And if somebody is looking for a way to easily bleed or drain somebody's money bag, there's ways through the website for people to do that. So I recognized that and said, okay, I'd love to be able to serve the top 1% of companies and entrepreneurs who really are needing support. Now, does that mean that I don't work with people that are in the top 1%? No, absolutely not. It's not true.
Correct.
I have services for different levels of growth, whether it's consulting, like one-on-one, or whether it's you just need a website in compliance, or you want a strategy and on and so forth, brand management. There's different levels, different tiers to be able to work with me because I want to be able to offer as much as we can to those that we are able to get results for. So that's where the 1% comes in at.
So I do want to ask this question. So those moments when you're not at the top or you haven't met the right persons or that those 1%ers in the industries, wherever that might be.
Yes.
And this theme, I was having a conversation and it was with some other young brothers that were just new into the world of entrepreneurship.
Yes.
And they were like, so what do you do when you're an entrepreneurship, when you're an entrepreneur and you have entrepreneurship anxieties or uncertainties? Why don't you share a little bit of that, and then we're going to go to a song by Kid Lee.
Okay.
and she's got a dope song. I really like it. It's called "You Gotta Reveal the Snakes" because you got to know who your snakes are.
Oh,
And when you in
wow.
those moments of anxiety, uncertainty,
Mhm.
there are people lurking, like you said, the snakes in the
Mhm.
game
Yeah.
to kind of disingenuize you, to discredit you, to do blah blah blah, so that they can either step in your space or knock you out the space. But
Mhm.
what happens? Just a little, maybe a tip or two
Okay.
for individuals that are watching right now, just in life
Yeah.
and in business.
When I'm uncertain, I have to question why I'm uncertain.
Wow.
I don't just take uncertainty and run with it.
Come on.
Why do I feel that way? I question everything. There's a why behind it. Is it because someone asked me a question I didn't know the answer today or that moment? Was it because it's something I'm not sure about? Was it because it's just a bad moment? What is it that makes me feel uncertain? Where is the uncertainty coming from? And then once I identify where it's coming from, what am I going to do with it? I'm not going to stick with uncertainty because it's not a place that I want to be in. I'm going to find an answer. If the answer is I'll deal with it tomorrow, then that's the answer. But I don't accept uncertainty as something I'm just going to dwell with.
I love
It's
that.
not an option for me to be uncomfortable like that. I like my peace, and uncertainty doesn't bring peace.
Come on.
So I have to find out why I feel that way. And then what am I going to do right now to get back to a place of peace? Do I need to research something? Do I need to call somebody? Do I
Mm.
need to sit down and be alone for a minute? Do I need to write? Do I need to journal? Do I need to write? What do I need to do to make sure this is not inhabiting and holding up my creativity because it's not
Wow.
going to be
Yeah.
serving you. Figure out why you feel uncertain and then get certain. Get certain. Get clear ASAP.
ASAP. So here it
Mhm.
is. You already know she didn't drop the bomb on you. That's how it goes. You already know the session live with Dr. Cynthia
Hey.
V. So we're gonna give you some of that Kid Lee because you
Okay.
got a big shoe. You got to watch out for it. God will reveal the snakes, but you got to watch out for them. We'll be right
Yes.
back with our special guest.
Yeah.
Rico got that fire.
Reveal the snakes. I need you to let them go. I need you to let them flow. I need you to let them go. Reveal the snakes. I need you to let them go. I need you to let them flow. I need you to let them go. Reveal the snakes. Every snake around you to let them go. I need you to let them flow. I need you to let them go. Reveal the snakes. I need you to let them go. I need you to let them flow. I need you to let them go. Reveal the snakes. I need you to shake them out of place. I look below, I see them slither in my space. These folks around me, I know someone might be fake. If that's the case, I know you gon' make a way to tell me who. And if it happened out the blue, I only thank you. It's a blessing to be finding out the truth. Some people plotting on my walking. When they aim, they might just shoot. But when they shoot, they'll only realize I'm protected, so they lose. Ain't no weapon finna prosper. Toss that rise a slaughter. Got this dread right from my father. Everything she do, we taught her. Even when they don't applaud her, he the only one that saw her. So their opinions don't bother, cause I already forgot them. They're the snakes. I need you to let them go. I need you to let them flow. I need you to let them go. So reveal the snakes. I need you to let them go. I need you to let them flow. I need you to let them go. So reveal the snakes. I need you to let them go. I need you to let them flow. I need you to let them go. So reveal the snakes. I need you to let them go. I need you to let them flow. I need you to let them go. So reveal the snakes. Reveal the snakes. Yeah, reveal the snakes. Yeah.
Your message has been received.
The No More Dirty TV show, hosted by Minister Fred 2, airing the cleanest and dopest music videos in the industry every Wednesday and Friday at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on the No More Dirty YouTube channel. We got clean, positive Christian hip hop and urban music for your viewing and listening pleasure. We also have music video exclusives, interviews, ciphers, life lessons, and more. Make sure to follow us at Minister Fred 2, at No More Dirty Inc., and at No More Dirty Radio Show. For more information, email us at info@nomoredirty.org or call 256-698-9749. The No More Dirty TV Show. Connect with us. Tune in.
I like that beat. Like I need that. Can I
Yes.
just get? I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
put that
yeah,
on
you
replay. I
can
need
do that.
I don't have a CD player, so I need a
Right.
copy of that somehow. Mr. Fred be over here in his car. If y'all see him, just know. Listen, that's how he
No
be
more
riding.
dirty. Woo!
Hey,
Hey.
that's funny.
Yo, I am so serious about the boom bap. I'm such a hip hop head. for that.
I wouldn't have guessed at
Yo,
all.
no, for real, no,
I know
whatever.
it.
So anyway, as we wrap this thing up, first of all, again, thank you so much for being a part of the
Thank you for
This
having me.
amazing conversation. Thanks for making time. Listen,
Thank
we have
you.
been trying for a minute to get this conversation because she's just really that busy. I want to close with this question: trustworthiness,
Ooh,
and
yes.
then what's next or new for you?
Okay.
Because like you're doing a lot of great things, and then of course you got to give them your information. We're gonna throw the website up, but I want you to actually verbally share that with them.
Okay,
So
for
just
sure.
first of all, tell them how they can get in touch with you, and then what's next and new for you.
So you can get in touch with me on cynthiavideau.com, which is my website. You can call my office directly at 256-770-4550. On that little button that says work with us, if you just fill out an application, that gives me enough information to know what you need so we can know how we can support you. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram. I'm barely on there, but Instagram, LinkedIn, primarily on Facebook though,
Yeah.
LinkedIn, even TikTok at Cynthia Videau or at the website Whisperer. So if you type in the website Whisperer, I'll probably come up. But you
Yep.
can find me on Facebook. I'd say 90% of the time.
Yeah.
I'm on there. So just shoot me a DM. But if you just go to my website at www.cynthiavideau, CYNTHIAVIDEAU.com, and just fill out an application there to help us to know exactly what services you are looking for. Yeah.
That is so cool. Any last things you want to share? And then we're gonna take them out with AI Anomaly. Thinking she has a song called
Okay.
Privilege.
Okay.
And I love the fact that you've shared these are ways that you can guarantee
Mhm.
or ensure privilege.
Mm.
So any closing remarks you want to share with our
Yeah.
folks? And then I'm gonna pray for you because I appreciate you.
Thank
And
you.
we want to ask God's continued blessing.
Yes, sir.
And then we're gonna take you out with AI Anomaly, who's my favorite is female MC, period.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You mentioned trustworthiness, and that does matter quite a bit. I think integrity is really, really important. Always be willing to learn. Always be willing to be a student of life. I have not figured everything out. I don't want anybody to think I figured it out. I get up every day with what I do know, and I use that, but then I'm so hungry to learn something new
Oh, I love
that I don't allow what I know to be enough. So
Wow. Stay
please,
hungry.
yes, please be
Wow.
willing to ask questions. Please be willing to study. Please be willing to learn. Please be willing to be corrected. Please be willing to be guided. Like get a council of people around you. The young lady before was singing a song about snakes. But if you get good counsel, you'll
Come on.
make better decisions and you won't have to worry about who's a snake in your it won't even be in your it won't even be around you
Yeah.
because you
Yeah.
have taken the time to vet those that are within your ear.
I love that. I love that.
Mhm. What's next? I'm focusing in on government contracting as well, like serving as a subcontractor,
Yeah.
brand management, which is our overarching service with marketing design,
hmm
strategy, and consulting as an umbrella service for our clients that are on the moving move and
Yeah.
they need
Yeah.
some ongoing support. So I'm really focused on long-term relationships with my clients to help them accelerate and to get them to where they want to be.
So
Mhm.
listen, folks, take the time to go and check out Dr. Cynthia Vito.
Thank
You
you.
already know she's on LinkedIn. That's a professional site. She's on Facebook, Instagram, and even a little bit at the TikTok and Twitter.
I like TikTok.
Yeah,
God bless
TikTok.
TikTok.
And it's
Yeah.
on the screen.
Mhm.
Take the time to go and just go peruse the website. I mean, it's really, I mean, she's got amazing things. And guess what?
Mhm.
It's as simple as just going and clicking and saying, "Hey, this is what I'm where I sit. This is where my business stands.
Right.
This is what I really am looking to do going forward
Mhm.
in my now moment.
Yes.
And then she's a sister doing big things. Like,
Thank you.
yo, seriously, I'm a big proponent of Black and Brown success. I'm hands down,
Thank you.
because it's important that, I work with my kids in housing. We have a basketball initiative. Shout out to Huntsville Housing Authority. And it's called the Youth Basketball and Education Initiative.
Okay.
My kids have to be involved in tutoring
Okay.
an hour before practice.
Wow.
We have mentors. Shout out
Mhm.
to Alabama A&M Man Up Initiative.
Okay.
Man Up Inc. These young brothers, man, they just solid. And they
Aw.
play ball with the brothers. They hook up with the brothers, and but this is the kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Iron sharpens iron. So if you're not vibing with people like us,
Yeah.
then you're missing out on some sharp iron. You are dulling all the weapons you have in your artillery. That's a real situation.
It can be
And
for
then
real.
we wonder why we're not somewhere. Is because we haven't got with the right clique or the right people.
Yes.
And then all you gotta do is ask, right?
All you
Seek
gotta
and
do
you
is
shall
ask.
knock. Doors open.
Sometimes it's just who you know.
Yeah,
It's for real.
it is.
Yeah.
So let me pray with you. I'm gonna pray for you,
Thank
and then
you.
after that, we're gonna take you out with AI. And again, thanks again. So God, we just want to say thank you for Dr. Cynthia. We thank you for what you've done. Thank you for all the amazing things you've done in her life personally and then professionally. We ask that you will bless her with an additional layer of covering, an additional layer of success. You said if we ask anything in your name, not doubting or wavering, it shall be done and given. So thank you for CBeyond Marketing Resource Center LLC. We thank you for her team, and we thank you for her family and her friends. And we'll be sure to give you the honor and all the praise in the name of Yahshua the Christ, who is Jesus of the Bible. Amen. So again, thanks again for joining us.
Thank you for so
Yo.
much for having me. I really have enjoyed this. Thank you for even extending your
Oh, for
platform
sure.
to even allow me to share my story. I appreciate you
Well,
taking
you
the
got the
time.
story of the year, brand story. That's what you do. You know.
Thank you.
So there it is. We'll see you next time. Shout out to my man Professor X. He'll
Hey,
show you.
thank you,
And we got
Professor.
our festival coming up. Our
Mhm.
family friendly, our 100% family friendly. It's called Family Fun Fest, Luau
Yay.
style. We about to do it
Okay.
big, May 18th. You already know the business. It's on the
Yay.
screen. Make sure you
Looks
go
like
and check it
fun.
out. Find out more about it. You
Mhm.
want to get involved? You can reach us on the website, and also you can get in touch with this young lady. She know how to reach us too. Yeah,
Hey.
she gonna be up in there hopefully too. There it is. All right,
Yeah.
we'll see you
See
next
ya.
time.
Thank y'all. Bye.
Yeah. Yeah. Standing with our hands held high. Freedom was a plan whole time. We come from God. God. That's privilege. That's privilege, oh yeah. My origin is Eden. So grim freedom since the soil that he breathed in. Made man from his image. Serpent trying to tell me different. I know your lies. System set to hold us back. We know that. They point and tell us live and lack. Don't do that. Them boxes try to sell us back. Don't buy that. Still standing on the block like mannequins. Dance, monkey dance. That sound like pandering. Still slaves. Y'all blame it on our blacklist. I blame it on our habits. If that's the case, that's any pigment. Self-control. Get a grip. Management. Stack your cash and make it flip. Dividends. Make mistakes and own them all. Handle it. Still struggle. Still cope. Privilege, still standing, still hope, that's privilege. Family close, don't let go, that's privilege. Standing with our hands held high, freedom was a plan whole time. We come from God, that's privilege, that's privilege. Standing with our hands held high, freedom was a plan whole time. We come from God, that's privilege, that's privilege. America the beautiful, cotton in your cuticles, master in a cubicle, he who let her do the most, whips like taxes, fraction my cash in, goes on my napkin, tuck green in my satchel, stack up to the nightfall, notes in my chapter, this book of life, do me right, you just see my after, before I was captive, dirt all in my mattress, epitome of trash mess, imagine, a room with no pigment trying to tell me what black is, I'm privileged, even with my past full of distance, I'm privileged, even when you you came from my winning. I'm privileged. America, stand from these hands of privilege. Standing with our hands held high. Freedom was a plan whole time. We come from God. That's privilege. That's privilege. Standing with our hands held high. Freedom was a plan whole time. We come from God. That's privilege. That's privilege. Standing with our hands held high. Freedom was a plan whole time. We come from God. God. We come from God. That's privilege. We come from God. God. We come from God. That's privilege. That's privilege. Standing with our hands held high. Freedom was a plan whole time. We come from God. Whole time, whole time. Whole time, whole time. That's privilege. Privilege.
You to work with us in collaboration to build and design a one-shot music video for this song. So whatever you've learned so far, whether you feel like it's a lot or a little bit, whether you feel like you can or you cannot, I'm telling you, you probably have skill sets that can help us. And if you don't, we have skill sets that can help you. And we're all going to work on this together.